Technology is reshaping our lives. It dramatically changed the way we live, the way we learn, the way we work, and the way we communicate. Technology has tremendous potential to connect us with one another. But there are still people who remain unreached, disconnected, and deprived of digital opportunities. Tech4ED centers serve as hubs that enable skills training and job opportunities.
We have more than 4,000 registered users, and about 67% are women, and majority composed of students as our beneficiaries. And why women? Because we are gender responsive, so all our programs are aligned with the gender and development program of our province.
Natutunan ko yung ibang skills na dapat sa ibang schools na dapat per years dapat maano mo lang dito ng mabilisan ng mga months, mga 3 months, makakuha mo lang agad tapos maka-work agad.
This program helped me by finding a job and of course gaining more confidence as well. I was able to gain knowledge about the BPOs, on how does the environment work and how am I going to interact with my future customers before.
As of now, as I'm with the call center agent, so I see that difference because as of now I'm earning more than I have earned before as a tricycle driver.
As we observe the 18-day campaign to end violence against women or VAW from November 25th to December 12th, we ask you, Lord, to look with kindness upon all of us who are gathered here. Fill our hearts and minds with love, wisdom, and courage as we face our daily lives. We pray for all women and girls who suffer from domestic violence, rape, incest, sexual harassment, trafficking, prostitution, and other forms of violence. May they have the courage to break their silence, find protection, healing, and justice. We pray for the perpetrators of VAW that they may learn to respect women and girls and stop the violence. O loving Father and Mother, send us your Spirit so that everything that we do will be done with love and respect for our fellow humans. Regardless of age, sex, class, ethnicity, and ability, O powerful God, develop in us a high regard for the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of everyone, and bestow on us the capacity to promote, protect, and fulfill the rights of women and girls. Almighty Creator, grant us the strength to stand up against all forms of violence happening to women and girls, the sharpness to recognize a silenced victim of VAW, the courage to speak up against VAW, the resourcefulness to help a victim of VAW, and the resolve to never commit any form of VAW. For all of this, we implore your guidance. Amen.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmalo ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw pag-ibig, pero sa silanganan, hanap ng puso, sa tingin mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, tulad na ng pag-ibig, sa pagdulong. Di ka masisigil, sa nakakatulog, sa sigil at sa dami mong babang. Ay ginagangkong na at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawat mo'y kalupay na nagliligig. Tuwing ng araw ng kailang pangalimagilig, lupa ng araw ng ating pagsigaw, wala natin sa ating mo. Ang hikaya naman ay makakagit, ang mga tayo ng nais mo.
Sa kita kapamilya, pag-uligay, pag-igay, pag-ibong, madapat mag-ari sa ating na probinsya. Nag-uutog na Negros sa ano, isa katawag, mapinalang tao, sa buong natangguan natin sa sakripisyo, sa kamuswagan, sa siklat tao. Sa ampas ng lag, malihog na ang tandaan sa kasal. Agut wala may mapilit sa kalulong, nagagagis na nagagis na ako. Ang matuod na nito sa akin, isa katawagan, paginalang tao. Sa buong natangguan na isang tigisyo, sa uswagan, sa sikat tao. Mag-uot-uot na nito sa akin, isa katawagan, paginalang tao. Sa buong natangguan na isang tigisyo, pag-ulikan at higayin, at higugmag na pagpagpalit. Sa kauswagan, sa sikat tao.
You are now watching NOLITC's Gender and Development Webinars, and this is Webinar 7. For today's topic, we will get to know mental health, wellness, and awareness this December 3rd, 2020, streaming live over YouTube and Facebook. We would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedules to join us today. My name is Dawn, and I will be your host for this afternoon. The Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center, or NOLITC, is the first and only language and ID center in Western Visayas. The Learning Center is also one of the priority programs of Governor Eugenio Jose Bonglacson under his 7-point priority agenda's Avance Negrense. NOLITC also offers various scholarship programs for its free online training with support of the Provincial Gender and Development Focal Point System. The GAD Webinars is another pioneering project of NOLITC Tech4ED, which aims to provide relevant ICT-enabled services and content to its unserved and underserved communities. Again, greetings to our participants from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and to the other parts of the world. Thank you for joining us today. Send the link to your peers and colleagues. and encourage them to join us this afternoon. Drop your comments and let us make this 2-hour session interactive. Let me try to read some of your comments which you have posted in the comment section, and let me greet you. Hello there and good afternoon to Florence Joy Octaviano. Hi. Good afternoon to Francine Xiao. Hello there. Marisa Bisak, good afternoon to you as well. Hello to Dides Hihastro Toreno. And good afternoon to Hannah Gamao of one of our students from Silay City. Hello there, Miss Rogeline Villaseran. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Hi there to Sir Remos Rico Toledo from Fortress College, Angelina Antonio Alontaga from Cadiz City, Justin Padernal Togle from Cadiz City as well, one of our students. Hello there, Cheryl Dolendo. Ma'am Azanet Mariposa Baluarte, watching all the way from Tigbao National High School, Calatrava, Negros Occidental. Hi. Hello to MJ Salipod. Lalex, Ma'am Lalex, hi there again. Nice to have you back from San Carlos City Children and Women's Affairs Incorporated. Thank you. Good afternoon to our active, very supportive participants from Barangay San Pedro. And special mention to Ma'am Maria Sosalin Cesar of Barangay San Pedro, Binalbagan. Hello there. Hi to Neri Padernal, our student, Lian Azucena Cuenca from Sagay City, and to all of you who are watching us to YouTube and Facebook live stream. This year, GAD Talks goes virtual with a series of webinars from November to December 2020. Recently, the center has pivoted to online training and conducted various in-demand webinars such as this one. This is our urgent and most responsive response to the ongoing global pandemic through providing relevant services and facilitating digital inclusiveness of our communities. These webinars are absolutely free. That's right. To join, all you need to do is to register once. If you are not registered yet, please find the link in the description box. The registration is one time only, and you can now have the access to the entire GAD webinars. To participate in our discussion or in the open forum, you will need to post your questions through the online open forum form, which we have provided. Please find the link in the description box as well. All right? We will not be able to catch up with all of your comments. So if you have any questions, please post them in the open forum form link, not in the chat box. The moderator will bring them up towards the end of the presentation. Let me remind you also to fill out the online attendance right now. The link to the online attendance is pinned in the comment section. After this webinar, you will be receiving a digital certificate. You only need to accomplish the online evaluation form after the webinar. I hope you're all catching up with me with some of our opening reminders. If you are with me, kindly comment in the chat box. I'm here. We would like to read and see your comments. If you have not seen our previous posts yet, kindly follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I know you're all very excited to start. Let us now begin with our session proper. NOLITC continues to offer relevant and COVID-free training programs through the leadership of our governor, Governor Eugenio Jose Bong Lacson. Let us hear his message.
Violence has a myriad of manifestations. It can come from threats, verbal or nonverbal, discrimination, and other menacing gestures. Even silence can be used as a form of violence. As we commemorate this year's 18-day campaign to end violence against women, let us seriously acknowledge that violence against women is one of our pervasive social problems, that this can only be addressed if society will truly admit that all of our desires, hopes for ourselves and our families are universal in nature, and that no interest or well-being of one gender or one class is superior than the other. That the rights of women are human rights and should be accorded due respect, and must be championed, propelled, and strengthened by the government if need be. To Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center and the Provincial Gender and Development Focal Point System, thank you and congratulations for hosting this innovative series of webinars aligned with the goal of the 18-day campaign to end VAWC and to promote gender equity, particularly in this time of pandemic. May the good Lord continue to guide and enlighten the path of our cause to end violence against women. Avance, Negrense.
Thank you very much, Governor Lacson. To kick off today's webinar, allow me to introduce to you our moderator, who will also be introducing our resource speaker. Our moderator is the Vocational School Administrator and the Center Manager of NOLITC Tech4ED Center. The center is able to successfully implement various GAD programs and services. She has completed her doctorate degree in philosophy, major in development management. Her dissertation entitled Competency-Based Training Program, Poverty Reduction Strategy has gained high academic distinction and regarded as an outstanding dissertation. Through her phenomenal leadership, the center gained awards from TESDA, the ICT, and other government agencies because of its best practices and quality programs and services. NOLITC was recognized as the Center of Excellence by the ICT. Prior to her experience as an educator, she is also a media practitioner for 10 years. Our moderator for this afternoon is a very active mental health and growth mindset advocate. It is with pleasure and pride that I introduce to you our moderator for this afternoon, Dr. Maria Cristina B. Orbicido.
Thank you, Red, for that pleasant introduction. Good afternoon to all our viewers streaming live via YouTube and Facebook. We are back to bring you another interesting topic this afternoon. But before that, today is a special day for NOLITC Tech4ED Center because we won another national award. The center was recognized as one of the winners in the PhilSecNet Pandemic Resilience Award under Support for Teachers and Students category. The award was received virtually by our Governor Eugenio Bong Lacson, and yours truly in the KEC 15th closing webinar this morning, streamed live via YouTube. The national award was given by PhilSecNet in cooperation with DICT to recognize e-centers that continue to deliver ICT-enabled services and government programs despite the ongoing threat of COVID pandemic. We would like to thank PhilSecNet and DICT for this recognition, and also this GAD webinar is another part of our campaign for resiliency. I know we are all caught up in a very stressful situation right now because of this pandemic. And today, we are here to learn about mental health and wellness. This is our GAD modules number 7. At the end of the webinar, we will be able to define mental health, know the different types of mental disorders, understand the causes of mental illness, know the preventive measures, and understand the mental health laws and what are the available mental health services. So let's get to know our resource speaker. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology at the University of St. La Salle, Bacolod. She completed her academic requirements for Masters of Arts in Conflict and Reconciliation Studies and currently doing her Master of Arts in Psychology at the same university. She is a lifestyle columnist of Digicast Negros and Sunstar Bacolod. She was formerly the manager of Kalipay Negrense Foundation and now works as program director of Hope Volunteers Foundation Incorporated. A member of the Philippine Mental Health Association and Negrenses Volunteers for Change. She is an experienced mental health worker and a community volunteer. Guys, let us all welcome with a virtual applause our resource speaker for today, Ms. Rose Jessica Jet Octaviano.
Hi, Doc Teen. Thank you very much for that
Hi, Jet.
introduction. Salamat, Jed. And again,
Yes.
thank you for inviting me for day 7.
Yes,
Thank you.
and thank you as well for being here with us for the second time around.
Yes. And by the way, congratulations for your award. Wow, that's a wonderful, good news.
Yes. It's really
Salamat.
indeed a good news for today. And we are so happy to announce this good news. And you are everybody's part of this award because you have been with us through these trying times. We will never thrive. We will never cope this pandemic without the support of all sectors. And that includes you as our resource speaker. Thank you very much, Jen.
Yes, and thank you very much for making me part of these GAD webinars. Thank you.
All right. Yes. So I guess you're ready to do your presentation?
Yes, very ready.
Take it away.
Okay. So again, good afternoon, everyone, all of you who are watching from Facebook Live as well as YouTube. And again, I would like to thank NOLITC, led by Doc Tina. This webinar is really something different. No, this is something that is truly unique. And in spite of this pandemic, we are still here to learn something. So my topic for this afternoon is mental health matters. This is really my primary advocacy, mental health matters. So I hope you will enjoy, you will listen and learn something. And actually my main goal really when I share this is to invite you to become a mental health advocate like me. Okay, so what are we going to talk about this afternoon? So Miss Doc Tina, she already mentioned that we're going to learn what is mental health. We will talk about mental disorders and we'll be focusing more of anxiety and depression. I will also share about suicide prevention. It is really very important to share this, especially during these times. No, the pandemic has really brought a lot of people with anxiety, worries, fear, sadness. So it's really important that we attend this kind of webinars. So I'm glad that you're here today. I will also share with you, prevention is the key. Yes, in all masakit, sa tanan na masakit, prevention is always the key to having this disorder na madula nga wala masakit. I will also share with you the mental health law, which is very recent. It's only 2 years old because it was signed in 2018. And I will share with you also where to go if you have problems with mental health. Okay, so I hope that's okay. So first, before we start anything else, I would like to remind you or to define what is health. No? So our friends from the World Health Organization defines health as a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So important kidney ang health naton, mula lang sidi nga masakit kita, but it is actually our well-being. No? So that's why part of the title of our seminar is the wellness. No? We are okay, wala masakit. And I also would like to emphasize that mental health is as important as physical health. No? For me lang niya kinaistoryahan ang physical health, sakit tiyan, sakit ang dughan, sakit ulo. Pero when it comes to mental health, people really don't talk about it. No? As much as possible, gina-hush-hush ni siya. I hope by the end of this webinar, people would think differently. Okay, sige. So, what is mental health? Again, according to World Health Organization, mental health is how a person thinks, feels, and acts when faced with life situations. So, actually, every day we are faced with different things, no? And how we handle all these situations, that's already our mental health. So, what are those? So, it is how we look at ourselves, it's how we look at other people in our lives, evaluate our challenges and problems, and explore choices. Yes, stress is part of life. No, if you attended last week, I hope. Well, if you missed it, don't worry about it. It can be replayed in YouTube or even in the NOLITC Facebook page. So stress is really part of our life. No, yung wala to may mahimo, it could be you stress, positive stress, or it could be distress, nga negative stress. But it is part of life, and mental health is how we handle all these stresses. So, ini nga mga handling stresses, it also be relating to other people and making important decisions. So, in short, no, again, mental health is not just the absence of a mental disorder. So, mahambal ka na, ay, wala kuya labot, kay wala man kuya, hindi man kuya buang, no? Amugin ang mga terms usually ginahambal. But mental health is really how you feel about yourself. So, ang question na do you love yourself? Do you know who you are? You know your strengths. You know all those things that you need to improve. And in spite of those things, you still love yourself. No, amo ginang importante sa ako nga, you love yourself. Kay ang loving yourself, you cannot love another person if you don't love yourself first. Okay? It is also about how you feel about other people. Do you have a best friend? Definitely. No, we also have our family members, no? So we really how do we feel about them? We love them. We share interests, no? Mahilig kita sa K-pop, no? Mahilig kita sa K-drama. But at the same time, mahilig kita mag-basketball together, mag-modeling. May ara ka mo sa same interests. But there are also people that we don't like. Correct? Yes, may ara kita tao nga hindi na namiyan, and that's okay. No? It's okay not to like another person because it is normal. Ang hindi lang ang malain lang no is that ginalibak mo ning tao asa sang ulihi nga ma World War V na nga madumugay na kamo kundi inda, no, and that's not good. Okay, but again, if you don't like somebody, it's okay, it's normal. And again, emphasize how you feel, how you meet the demands of everyday life or the stresses in life, no? So muna siya, that's mental health. So, mental disorder, on the other hand, is a medical condition. If you notice in the screen, ang medical, pula na, underline pa, no? Because it is a medical condition like any other masakit, no? So, ang common, may mga tao nga heart attack, may mga tao may diabetes, no? Some others na bali, may arasang any other no nga mga masakit no kadamo lang gid, no? Pero ang mental disorder again, to wala gid na istoryahan. Pero again, it's a medical condition. Liwat-liwat, pinangambal, it's a medical condition. Anong ni galing nakatabo? So, it affects your thoughts, processes, perception of reality, emotions, or judgment that result in may mga disturbed behavior, may suffering or distress, decline in functioning, inability to cope with work and maintain relationships. Ang mental disorder, wala gapili sang kung sino iya nga tagaan sang masakit, no? So if you notice sa left side sang slide, different people has been diagnosed with mental illness. So we are all great. Look, there's a president, there are actors and actresses, and you are not alone, no? Kag ini siya again, it is not something bad, okay? Because it's may masakit kaya sa imo nga brain, no? Ang brain naton is actually one of the most important, for me that is, important organs in our body. So our brains are just like, kung abi may ala ka salakyan, kag ang motor wala ga andar, hindi mag-andar ang salakyan, no? Kung guba ang motor. Or if your laptops or your computer says viruses, chances are hindi man mayo ang paghulag sang imo nga computer. So amo lang na siya ka simple, no? It was Dr. Charibel Escandilor who explained that to me a long time ago while I was still in PMHA. And lagi ko naigo, nga sakto, no? Nga ang aton brains are sakit man no? Kung may problema ta, kag may ala ka na physical illness, like for example, may cancer ka, and eventually, sometimes, depression ka, experience ka depression, no? So again, ano na siya ang mga disturbed behavior, no? May changes, may big change sa imo nga life. For example, no, ang iyang isa ka bata, ang iyang grades ng 95, and suddenly nag-75. May kung gahambal nga may mental disorder na siya dayon nga maang pamangkot da nga amo na natabo. So there must be something going on, no? So base ginabully siya sa school or nag-break siya sa amiga or migo, etc. Suffering or distress, of course, is about crying, hindi ka tulog, no? Decline in functioning is about wala nakapaligo, wala ka toothbrush, and cannot just do anything. So makita tinadamo sa dalan ang mga wala kapaligo, no? Sila ang obvious nga may mental disorders. Pero hindi lang naamo ang mental disorder. And of course, there is also about inability to cope with work and maintain relationships. Most people na may depression, they tend to isolate themselves from other people. And there are more than 300 kinds of mental disorders. Hindi ko na sila pag-isa-isahon kay kadamo-damo git. But I will focus on two disorders, which is anxiety and depression. Okay? So amo lang na, no? So it's finally time to end the stigma, no? So hindi na ang usually mabatian naton in terms of mental disorder ay kaabnoy sa imo, no? Ay kabobo, no? Or ay katapgat tinamad ka lang imo ya, or baliw ay kaintok sa imo. So let's stop it and try to end the stigma. Okay? Sige. So ano ni siya ang mga causes of mental disorders, no? Actually wala gid man naton kid mabalaan kung ano gid ang cause, but it could be four factors under 4 factors. So it could be biological. Yes, it could be biological in terms of it could be a hereditary predisposition. So if my mother is having depression, kag imo nanay wala, mas ang tendency mas tako ang tsansa kung ma-depress. Again, people are different. Pwede mo na yung, ay hala, tingnan, ay magulay mo ni basta ikaw ang mga hindi, gid. No? So, it depende na sa imo nga mental health, how you handle your stresses. But usually, hereditary predisposition mean na may ara na sa inyong pamilya. Okay? Sige. When your mother was pregnant with you and wala siya gakaod, during conception, the smoke, the drugs, it will also affect your mental health. So that's why it's biological. Okay? So it could also be physical. Physical factors could be physical injuries due to accidents. So if, example, you nabunggo imo ulo, no, you have bumps in your heads, it could also it could be a cause for a mental disorder. Bumps, drugs, and substance abuse, yes. Drugs, definitely, the illegal drugs definitely can change you. It can cause hallucinations. So hindi na siya maayo, no? Okay, it could also be a socioeconomic factor, no? Unemployment, especially these days. Amo na nga recently we hear about a lot of people needing a psychiatrist, no? This morning, my sister and I were just talking about that there was a need for a psychiatrist, and many of these psychiatrists are not available anymore. They're available next year. Well, next year is like next month, right? But amo na bala, ang availability of the psychiatrist is ano man gutok man subong because ang need sa ila is high, no? Because some of people, they lost their jobs. Swerte lang kita kung may ala pataubra, no? Housing problems because they have no work, so they lost their homes. Poverty, definitely, wala ka na kwarta, you are the father of the family, and then you have to feed all your children, paano na lang? And some people, because they drop out of school. So that's socio-economic factor. And one of the most common factors is the psychological factors. Hindi siya ang failure to adjust or cope with difficulties in life, no? So for example, mga grief, anxiety, and painful life experiences. This pandemic is really giving us a hard time to cope with the different thing, no? Ang mga kabataan, 18 and below, you cannot go out, no? Subong ginhimo na nila 15 and below. Pero since March, no, halos wala kakagawa sa balay mo, and this really took a toll to these children, no? We heard of children trying to kill themselves, no? May mga cabin fever na sila. So this is psychological factor. And there are also people na nag-anxious sila because of this, and they have and aside from that, they have painful life experiences. So nagtipon-tipon, nagpatong-patong ang tanan ng mga painful life experiences, nag-snap ka na lang and you need help. And let me emphasize before I will tell you this later also, but I will also mention it now. It's okay to ask for help if you feel that you need to talk to someone. Okay? So again, the 4 factors are biological, physical, socioeconomic, and psychological. Okay, sige. To continue, I will share with you what are the common disorders and why is there a 1 in 5. So researchers say in the Philippines, there is, for every 5 persons, there is one who is suffering or experiencing a mental disorder. So kung may tupad ka da, you look at each other and find out sino among the 5 of you ang may ara sa mental disorder. No? Sige. But lately, it could be, maybe, wala pa man results sa mga research, but it could be even more than one for every 5 persons. Okay? Sige. What are the common mental disorders? So number 1 is really anxiety. Anxiety is the body's natural response to danger. No? It is an automatic alarm that goes off when we feel threatened or under pressure or facing a stressful situation. So naka-experience mo ko anxiety kagina before the talk, no? But I guess this is part na there are types may anxiety mga quote-unquote normal kag may ara mga kinanglan na gid kabulig. Anxiety is natural, no? When we take an exam, like for a board exam, you want to meet you're going to meet your crush or something, may anxiety na feeling. But when you, after a while, okay naman, no? You go on and enjoy ka pa to, wala nadula ng ang imo anxiety or worry when you met your crush or after the board exam, ay salamat, I did it, no? But there are other people who experience anxiety na hindi na sila ka-function. Remember, ang definition sa mental disorder is may ara na sang affected na ang thought processes. Okay? And there are many kinds of anxiety. So may generalized anxiety disorder, may ara mo sang panic disorder, no? So si Miss Becky was able to mention about panic attacks yesterday na hindi ka nakaginhawa, you feel like may bato di nga sulod sa imo, di nga tutunlan kay na hindi ka kaginhawa. Some people would think that it could be asthma. So amo na nga ang mga doctors are really needed there kasi sila na iyang ma-diagnose kung may panic disorder ka or may asthma attack. Okay? There's also the obsessive compulsive disorder. Ang being OC is not just a matter of cleanliness. There's also phobias. This is very common to many. No, sino na nahadlok sa ido, no, sino nahadlok mahulog sa hagdanan, no? If you are in a mall and you are in the 3rd floor and you feel like when you look down, you feel like you are going to fall down. So kakutugudog tayo may mudughan, no? So that could be a phobia. No? Who are afraid of the spiders, who are afraid of social anxiety, speaking in front of many people. No? That is anxiety. No? Tapos ang PTSD is the post-traumatic stress disorder, and this one usually habal nila sa una para ni sa mga veterano, no? Those people who soldiers, the mga soldiers na sila nga they went to war, they experienced they nearly died or they had to kill someone to save themselves. So grabe ang mga nightmares, no? May mga nightmares, insomnia, there's violence, there's guilt feelings, there's hopelessness, there's hallucinations, no? So PTSD is not just for soldiers anymore, no? After grabe ang imong experience nga painful experience, it's possible nga ikaw mismo ma-PTSD, no? For example, ginhold up ka, tapos nakubaan ka na, nightmare ka na, wala ka nagalabay to sa lugar ka kung di ka ginhold up, or let's say nagsakay ka sa series, nag-aksidente, hindi ka naman ay magsakay sa series for a long time, pero again, there are limits, no? So in a period of time, it's still normal, pero after like days or weeks, basi kinanglan na makato sa doctor. Okay? So PTSD also became quote-unquote popular after the Yolanda, no? Damo gito nagguluwa ng mga needs sa mga Filipino people. But of course, it was also mentioned that resiliency in Filipinos is also gagwa gid, no? Ang resiliency, ang ability to move forward. Okay, so that's anxiety. And another common disorder is depression. Ay, sus, grabe. Very common gid, no? And depression is not just about being sad, but also there are feelings of helpless, hopeless, and unworthiness, no? Kung kisado, feeling mo nga, bata ka pa, anong pulos ko, no? Wala ka na gana maghulag, do bago ka nakabugtaw, kapoy ka na, no? Doon mo na siya na feeling. And there are many, this is a feeling disorder, no? So may ara na usually nga after magbata ka, there's also about like seasonal ang imo anxiety, ang imo depression during winter time or during cold season, no? And depression is not only for women but also for men, no? Tanan nga tawo ka experience siya sa depression. I mean, I'm tanan nga gender, I mean, no? Not necessarily all people. Okay? Substance abuse is another common mental disorder. It is about overindulgence or independence on an addictive substance, especially alcohol and drugs. No, overindulgence means na ginabala ka sa doktor mo to take only once a day, you take it 3 times a day. Independence means you cannot live without it. No, so okay lang na tani ako mga paracetamol, no. Pero what if marijuana na ginusar mo, mga cocaine? So lain na yung istorya. But ang good news tira, recovery is possible. Na? We here in Bacolod, we have, here in Negros, kami ara sa Victorias, we have rehabilitation centers na can help you. And again, recovery is possible. Kinapositive ko na yung daan. Okay, so the fourth is another is the schizophrenia or maybe psychosis, but this is a thought disorder characterized by delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech or behavior. Amo siyang ginahambal nato na buang na git, no. These are the people na we see sa streets na mo kita may decline in functioning, do halos kahigko sa ila, kabaho sa ila, but yet they can still understand what you're telling them, no. Lately, we have a friend and I noticed na nagdamo na gid sila, especially during this pandemic. No, so kasubo gid, no. Ano ni siya ang difference ng delusions and hallucinations? Ang delusions are believing in something that is obviously not true. Like for example, ara sa TV maghambal and you think it's all about you. Di syempre ka-delusion ka. Ka-delusion ka nga you are the richest woman in the whole world, you are the president of the United States. Ka-delusion ka nga ikaw ang girlfriend ni Tom Cruise, no? Or ikaw ang basta something obviously hindi matuod. So that's delusions. Ang hallucinations naman is related to your 5 senses, no? So you see something, you hear something, you feel that ginapoison ka sa food, no, taste, and other. There are 5. Okay, touch, and basta 5 senses. Okay, so ang schizophrenia may ara man siya sa paranoia. Ang tawag nga praning kano nga may timingan nga naglabay ka ti may group of friends to nag-giggle sila ya kay nagkita nila ila crush or something, abi mo ikaw na ang kinaistoryahan. So that's part of their symptom nga may paranoia. Okay? Sige. Amo ni siya ang common gidya nga ginahambal naton may mental disorder. Pero it's not just about having psychosis or schizophrenic, but it's also about anxiety, about substance abuse, having depression. Okay? Sige. Definitely, stress, anxiety, and depression are related. So again, I will talk more about anxiety and depression. Again, anxiety is the body's natural response to danger, automatic alarm. And what does it look like? No? So what are the signs and symptoms of anxiety? Signs are something that you see in other people, and symptoms are something that you experience. So may ara sa mga chronic fatigue, dizziness, nausea, difficulty in breathing, may chest pressure, numbness, dizziness, cold chills, uncontrollable worries, can't relax, can't sleep. Amo na siya mga example of having anxiety, no? It could be a lot of things. It could also be you're always yawning, you're having crazy thoughts. It could be frequent urination, no? Kadamo lang. So how do you recognize this anxiety in yourself and others? So there's overthinking, there are memory issues, you avoid things, you always sweat, you cannot sleep, may insomnia, rapid heartbeat, headaches, trouble breathing, constant worrying, procrastination, trouble concentrating, stomach issues, panic attacks, needing reassurances, and lack of patience. So these are just examples of a few. If you notice, some of these symptoms are actually could be another disease, no? Kay base ang imo ya headache related to migraine. So hindi na siya anxiety, no? So kamo na siya nga it's important really to check with a doctor, consult with a doctor, no? Sige. So what are the facts about anxiety? So it was mentioned, no? So again, from World Health Organization, it said that an anxiety disorder can develop usually before 21. So that means ang mga children gidya ang experience ng anxiety. And only 1/3 are getting treatment. So kung may ara ka anxious ka, you don't go to the doctor as much as possible. Kag remember, ang mga anxiety and even depression are treatable. No? You can go to the doctor, and if you are loyal to that treatment, like if the doctor tells you to drink the medicine for 6 months, you drink it for 3 months or 6 months. Kung 3 months lang, I don't feel I feel good already. Hambal ni doctor 6 gin 3 mo lang, mabalik din na siya. So dapat isundon gidya ang hambal ng doctor. Okay? So in addition, hambal ni WHO, ni World Health Organization, 1 out of 13 people suffers from anxiety. So out of 13, there is always 1. And ang common anxiety disorders are phobia, major depressive disorder, and social phobia. Again, ang social phobia is speaking nahadlok ka mag-speak in front of other people. So hindi kaya gusto mag-entra sa mga Toastmasters, no, kinakulbaan ka na, or you don't want to give talks like this kay feeling mo you will say something wrong or kadlawan ka sa mga tao. Okay? Sige. So depression naman again is it's not just being sad, but there are also feelings of sadness. Aside from sadness, there's helplessness, hopelessness, and unworthiness. So ano na siya, no? So these are the signs and symptoms. So dysphoric mood, amo na siyang part na sad. You feel, again, anxious, may anxiety, you feel empty. Amo na ang numb ka na bala. You have loss of appetite or increase of appetite. So that's why you always say the may appetite changes or losses. With sleep problems, you cannot sleep or you sleep all day. Or sometimes there is early morning awakening. So you sleep at 10, you wake up at 2, and you cannot sleep anymore. So that's a sleep problem. Psychomotor retardation, you're always tired, do ka kapoy ka lang permi, bago ka lang kabugtaw, kapoy ka na. So everything seems hard to do. Disinterest, you lost interest in activities you like. So sa una, excited ka pang malakat sa mall. Of course, we will talk about na wala pa ni pandemic, no? So you like to go to the mall every day, kapag check attendance ka to sa Robinsons, buwas SM ka naman, tapos Ayala. Subong niya, ginahagad kasi mga friends, you don't even want to get out of your house or your room. So wala ka na gana. You like to watch K-dramas, tapos subong wala ka na gana, nainit ka na sa mga karakter, no? Or you like to watch the Queen's Gambit, no? Tapos uli, so wala ka na, who cares? Baka na nag-unsubscribe ka na sa Netflix, no? Kaya wala ka na gana. Gusto mo na lang magpukuribong sa imong kwarto, no? And then lassitude is an overall decrease in energy. Though related mo na siya sa feeling empty, kapoy ka lang perme, no? Mo na siya self-deprivation, feelings of worthlessness, or sometimes you feel guilty even if wala ka man nilabot sa istorya, pero nag-guilty ka. No, you were walking in the streets and then may aksidente, imo pa ya sala. No? So of course, hindi na ya imo sala. Kaya you are having your own business. Sila to ya, they're also in the street, in the main road. So hindi mo na ya sala, but yet you feel guilty. So that is something to think about. No? So loss of concentration and memory, difficult in concentration. And ang sad kinadi, ang suicidal ideation. So you think about mostly about death, research ka na, Google ka na on how to kill yourself, no? You want to kill someone, no? That's already grabe yung warning sign. I'm happy to share that the people from the National Mental Health Center in Manila, they were able to talk with Google Philippines na when you Google sa hambang how to kill myself, may gagawa na nga help is available and there's a number to call. So kanami, no? To happy kung pagkita ko nga na, if you type in Google, there is help is available and then may phone number. No? So at least no, people are aware and everybody is helping out sa suicide prevention. Okay? So again, no, the 9 symptoms, loss of energy, sleep problems, feelings of helplessness or worthlessness, feeling sluggish, cannot concentrate, appetite or weight changes, thoughts of death, depressed mood, no, loss of interest or pleasure in activities and hobbies. Okay. So again, before we continue with suicide prevention, what does depression look like? So sometimes there are anger attacks, lack of motivation, feeling fearful, low mood, lack of appetite. You're saying that I'm not good enough. There's a lot of aches and pains in your body, no more confidence. You feel despair. You have difficult sleeping. There's guilt, and everything is negative for you. And you avoid contact with friends, and you want to be isolated with everyone. It's going to be also hard to make decisions. You're indecisive. Everything is negative. No, you feel tired. Tanan na lang nega. Okay. So facts about depression: it's common disorder, as I mentioned earlier. Even in the Philippines, depression is common. Globally, more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide and is a major contributor to overall global burden of disease. So if you have a mental disorder, it is also a disability. So if ever you have a depression, pwede ka kapangayo sa PWD card. So may advantage ka you can park anywhere and you have discounts. Okay, and joke lang. Anyway, but it's true. Most women, we are more for women are affected by depression than men, although definitely men also experience depression. Again, depression can lead to suicide. And the good news is it can be treated. As I've mentioned earlier, you can be treated sa depression. As long as, kung ang doctor follow orders, so 3 weeks, anay, tapos next na magkadto ka mabisita naman sa iya, we have to follow that. Okay. So what if you have both depression and anxiety? Wow, just ko. Kabudlay gid if you're suffering both. So again, depression is about sadness, worthlessness. You feel irritated. You feel no more interest in normal activities, thoughts of suicide. You're always tired. You have disturbance in sleep and appetite. And at the same time, kung ang anxiety naman niya, you're always trembling. You're increase in breathing rate mo kataas. You're always nervous, powerless. You just have this feeling na panic, Permi ka na panic, pero wala man rason kisa. And you feel that you are in danger. Your high heart rate, you're always sweating. Pero if you combine both, there's a bit of restlessness. You have trouble thinking, concentrating, making decisions, super excessive worrying. You have unexplained physical complaints such as headaches, stomach aches, and there's agitation. So it's really a worst feeling. But again, it can be treated. Okay. So there is a group, the International Association for Suicide Prevention. We usually celebrate Suicide Prevention Day every September 10. But however, for mental advocates like me and you, hopefully, it is actually every day ginayaan suicide prevention. So what are the warning signs of suicide? We already mentioned that depression is one of the symptoms is actually thinking of death. So what if nakapanumdum na gid sila nga amo na ginaubrahon? So again, there's a negative view of self. There's a sense of hopelessness, no hope for the future. You want to feel alone. Or even if you are with many people, you feel alone in spite of their other people. Sometimes you are aggressive. Dali ka mairitar. You are already finding means of killing yourself. You feel like a burden to other people. Okay lang ko, you want to be alone. You don't want people to help you. There are drastic changes in mood and behavior. There's frequent talking about death. Ay, kung mapatay ko, ang akong ido sa imo ko lang bilin, ha? So, gabilin-bilin na sila. There's also self-harm, like cutting yourself. Sometimes, these people who are cutting themselves, they have so much pain in them that trying to cut themselves, ginatanaw nila kung may magbatyagan pa nila kasakit. So that's why we have to look at them first. We don't need to judge them. Anong ginaarte ka naman da? Seek attention. They have grabe kasi nga pain. Okay? So they also engage in risky behaviors. They are making funeral arrangements, and they also use substance abuse. No, kagapabalo man sila nga ma-suicide dagit sila ya. And some people when their friends are saying na may pagurupre magpakamatay no, tapos ang sabton, ay kagako simo kinto gid sa imo yan no. Ay magadto ka na iya sa hell ya. No, hindi ta sila pagkadlawan no. Hindi ta sila pag-i-judge. We talk to them nga gusto ta sila ya bulikan. Ang point is we want to help them, not to condemn them. Okay. So, as I've mentioned earlier, those people who want to commit suicide, to die through suicide, there are people who want to end their pain. Grabe-grabe, nagidya sang ilay nga pain nga they just want to end it. No? No? People who die by suicide don't want to end their life. They want to end their pain. Amo ginaya. And it's a reminder for those who want to commit suicide. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Remember, problems are temporary. There is always a solution to every problem. So ang suicide ya, magpakamatay ka tapos na. Abi mo, nag-end na ang pain? No, the pain passes to someone else. No, so that's why when you commit suicide, sino ang kasakit? No, napatay ka na, nag-end ang pain mo. But about your mother? Think of your mother, your father, your sibling, no? Your best friend. Ang tanan nga ginbuligan mo to, ang imong nga mga friends, no? Even your teachers, wala ka lang kabalo, no? Ginapanungdong ka man na nila. So, as much as possible, you ask for help. And suicide prevention is everyone's responsibility. So, mahamba kita, Miss Jet, hindi man kuya psychologist, hindi man kuya counselor, no? Wala man kuya may nabalaan. So suicide prevention is everyone's responsibility. We don't have to give them medicines. We don't have to counsel them. We need to talk to them. No, just being there actually helps a lot. No, amo na siya. So what can we do? So these are some actions for helping someone in emotional pain. So when they tell you, pray dumapakamatay, nagit kuya ko lain, nagit kasakit, nagit siya. So ask them. Talk to them. Are you thinking of killing yourself? No? So talk to them. Tumabal sila oo. So amo na nga time, we make sure mo na you keep them safe. No? Reduce access to lethal items or places. So usually, when you talk about killing yourself, ang confidentiality clause pwede na maguba. No? I think this is about life. This is about life. So when somebody tells you he wants to kill himself, you talk to the person he lives with or she lives with. Kaya di mabuligay ka mo nga bantayan siya dapat 24/7. Tanan nga mga kutsilyo, tanan nga mga ginausal, pangtaguon within nga hindi makita dayon no ang mga pusil, ang mga ginainom no nga mga poisonous nga para ginalimpyo lang sa aton nga mga banyo no hindi ta na ipangtaguon. Keep them safe. So ask them, keep them safe, be there for them. No, listen carefully and acknowledge their feelings. Again, tell them that it's okay to feel that way. I understand that you have pain. Hindi nga habalo nga ay kagagas mo kininto ka naman. Hindi. Just be there for them. No, listen. And sometimes they don't want to talk. So your presence could be enough for them. Mga kabalo sila nga care ka sa ila. Okay? Also, syempre, we were saying that hindi man kuya psychologist, hindi man kuya mental health worker, hindi man ko psychiatrist. So help them connect to a professional, no? So in this slide, in this picture, ang number na daya sa Amerika na siya. So I included here that the province of Negros Occidental has already a helpline, no? So there's a number you can share with them that they have been trained, they are willing to listen and help. So that's the number that you can give. Or you can bring them to a doctor, opdan mo sila, no? And this can, gin-refer mo na to siya sa imong nga guidance counselor or gin-refer mo na siya sa doctor, i-follow up mo man siya kag stay in touch, no? So habalo mo siya, nang subong to gali mo nga appointment kay doctor so and so, kamusta man, no? Ay, ano bulog ginatag yan, no? So maybe you stay there and stay in touch and remind him or her of the medicines na he need to take, or ang balon mo siya nga, ay, di bala after 2 weeks, magkadto-kadto kay doktor, tinakatawag ka na, opdanta ka, no? So amo na siya nga being there for for this person. So again, the 5 steps are: you ask them, you talk to them, you keep them safe, you'll be there for them, you help them connect, but you stay connected. Okay? Sige. So, what else can we do? No? So, kita yung mismo, we feel a lot of worries, no? May mga anxiety, do tayo lang na stress, no? Do biskan magwa, kita gani halos magwa ta do kulbaan man ta, no? We really have to wear all this mask, may face shield pa, ang best friend ta subong alcohol, no? So there's a lot of worries every day. Go worry ka, your mother or father is sick, so you have to bring them to the hospital. Ang mga senior citizen hindi kagwa, no? So you have to double your worries naman ikay wala labot nga ka-worry ka sa self mo, ma-worry ka man sa imong mother or father. So, what can we do to take away all those worries and to be sure that hindi ka magkatuan sa mental disorder? So, always, like in any case of any masakit, prevention is really the key to everything. So, what can you do? I have these suggestions, and these suggestions are something that you can follow, or you have done already, or I could say something here that you did not do, or may ara kaya ginaobra nga wala diri, that's still okay. Because prevention or stress management is actually something that makes us happy. So what do you do to make you happy? No? So number 1, always remember that you matter. No? We are important. We have to value ourselves. We have to love ourselves. And we also need to be kind to ourselves. No? So for example, you made a mistake. So admit it. You made a mistake, and then that's it, no? Kung if mas possible, ay, nagsala ko. Maybe next time, saktuhon ko na gid, no? Hindi nga after 2 weeks ginapanumdumok pa nga, ay nagsala mo ko tumang kahulugya sa akong kagaga sa akong. As much as possible, be kind to yourself also. So self-care is a must, no? There are different kinds of self-care. It could be physical, it could be mental, it could be spiritual, no? It could be emotional. But the important is that you take care of yourself na ikaw lang niya, no? It is not being selfish. It is really something that is a must. It is necessary, and it is because you matter. Okay? Sige. So you also, aside from loving yourself, and because stress management or preventing all these anxieties, no, and to escalate, no, kinanglan, we have to help ourselves. So aside from loving ourselves, we also need to offer ourselves to others. No? So if you have more than enough, share your blessings. Yung wala magikwida mo blessings, so be a mentor, volunteer, be a friend, no? Support a home, no? Or you go to visit children, no? Mga disadvantaged children, or you visit mga lolos and lolas sa senior home. May pandemic, hindi pwede. Pwede ka mangyapon ka donate, no? You can do a lot of things, no? You can donate your clothes, you can pray for them. No, you can also be a mentor to one of the children, no, big manong-manang, or if you're in a club, you are the president, ang next mga president, i-mentor mo, mentor-mentee, no, amo na siya. So offer yourself also, offer your support, and share your blessings. Also, understand the signs and symptoms. That's why I congratulate all of you who are here today and attending this webinar, because you feel like you want to know about mental health, because mental health matters. No? So if you are here, congratulations and thank you for coming. And again, hopefully, when you educate yourself, you also share it with others. Okay, that picture was last week. Okay, so M is for manage your stresses. It is very important that we identify our stressors, and then we, as much as possible, we write what we need to do if malapit ka na to sa imong stressor, no? So if our stressor is you are always late in the morning, so instead of waking up at 6, you wake up at 5. So I identify naton. Last week, my acronym for stress management is new normal. So express yourself, you reach out, you nurture others. It's actually again similar. Maybe some of them are similar to what I'm saying today, but it is again something that what makes you happy, no? Amo na siya important. And also it's important to balance your life. Yes, I'm telling you to love yourself, but not to the point of na ikaw naman ni ang best na, no? Kiti ang bali Miss Jet, you love yourself. Pero siyempre unahon ko lawas ko. Of course not. Because life is about balance, that you love yourself, but at the same time, you also love other people. No? You can get, it's okay to get angry, but not all the time. No? Tama na siya. So A is for definitely avoid alcohol and drugs. So dugay-dugay na nga tagline, say no to drugs. Until now, it's still pwede pa, no? Asa subong niya basahon tagi nakagimuon. So instead of practicing kay tungod nga ka-stress sa kakon, what makes me happy, kinaglan niya mainom-inom ko. So instead of unhealthy coping skills, do something positive, healthy. Practice a healthy lifestyle. Eat well, exercise, drink lots of water, get enough sleep. No? So, ginaubra ko man gani. No? So, amo na. Important man na siya. Okay? Again, talk to someone. Definitely, it's important to talk to someone. I'm not saying that necessarily you go to a psychologist or a counselor right away. No? Just pautwas. No? Pautwas na sa imo nga family. Sa imo sister, sa imo brother, sa imo nga BFF. No? Talk to someone. And I always encourage families to have a meal together or go to church together. You know, just being with good friends, surround yourself with family, feel good. No? Miss Jet, subukan mo tayo magtipon-tipon, anong pulos sang Zoom, sang atong nga mga Facebook Messenger. No? We can still connect to each other galing kay virtual lang. But that's still okay, no? So at least you see each other, you tend to talk to each other, and we still have that chance to do it even with this pandemic. Okay? So also think of joyful places, no? Think of something that makes you happy. So do something that you enjoy, spread happiness, no? Smile. You know, when you smile, you look younger, you look prettier, you look more handsome, no? Ang namiya ko gid kay you look younger, no? Kabata sa imo, unless of course nga wala ka na dang ipon, no? Ti obvious nga hindi ka young. Okay, so again, thank your blessings. Even with this pandemic, wala ta COVID, that's a blessing. We are attending webinars, we have options for opportunities to attend for free. That's a blessing, no? You had lunch today, that's a blessing, no? And pray and thank the Lord, no? Nga pasalamat kita nga asa subong buhi pa kita, no? We've known a lot of people na affected and they're not here anymore, and that's sad. So think of joyful places. It could be sa simbahan, it could be a beach, no? Ang ako niya nga happiness yan na miyan kung magtanaw sa mga beach. Gal kay di mo ko mahilig mag-swimming, matanaw lang ko isang view, no? Kamapungko-pungko dakag mag-relax sa magbasa, no? Okay. So also to prevent having a mental disorder and the stigma. So nakita mo na to nga you have the signs, symptoms, hindi ka na yung maghuya-huya magkadto sa doktor kag mangayo bulig, no? And the stigma. Something is wrong with you, you are sick sa brain and it's the same as physical. Okay, get, no? So end the stigma, also educate others, spread awareness, and be a mental health advocate like me, no? Gusto ko damo na ta. Spread ta giniya nga there is nothing wrong in talking about mental health or malagyo banago kung may istorya parte mental disorder. Okay? So end the stigma. And of course, and the important part also is recognize when you need help. It's okay to ask for help. You can also go to your friends, you can go to your priest, to your pastors, sa mga physicians, sa mga doktor, and if needed, consult with a professional. Okay? Sige. So remember, you matter. You offer your support. You offer yourself. You understand the signs and symptoms. You need to manage your stress. You avoid alcohol and drugs. You need to talk to someone. You think of joyful places, end the stigma, and recognize when you need help. Okay? Sige. So, yes, recognize when you need help, and help is available. So the second to the last part is about the mental health law. So in June 2020, our President Duterte signed the Republic Act 11036. That's the Philippine Mental Health Law. Actually, dugay-dugay na ginaobra ang mental health law. And finally, sa 2018, ginpermahan na, nakita na ang importance ng mental health. No? So help is here. And it was authored by Risa Hontiveros, along with Tito Soto and a few others. No? So what is inside the mental health law? So number one, it's important that we have to secure the rights and welfare of mental health professionals and persons with mental health needs. So we provide mental health services as much as possible. Tanan hospitals, that's already a yes, and barangay. So barangay health workers should know how to handle if there are mental health cases. Okay? We also need to improve our mental health facilities, and I'm happy to share that like CLM, Corazon Locsin Montelibano Memorial Regional Hospital already has the hospital already has a mental health unit, which is very good. Riverside Medical Center has the wellness center. BAMC, they have psychiatrists and they also accept patients. So nag-improve kin man ang mga mental health facilities naton and hospitals. Okay. And this another important part sa mental health law na ma-integrate ang mental health education in schools and workplaces. No, as much as possible, as young as elementary, i-integrate na, ibutang na ang mental health education. No, may subject kita nga mape. So maybe instead nga na one or two meetings lang siya, it could be expanded, no? Kagihambal kung ano gid ang mental health, na madula ang stigma about mental health. And if you are in a workplace, it is encouraged, it is actually needed na sa HR policy or the human resources, may ara sang policies or may guidelines for mental health. So dira na magwa ang mga taking care of your employees, no? May ara man sa mental health day, so may adlaw nga ma-absent ka kay you need a mental health day, or some people ang nami nga mga employers, no, they give spa days, spa certificate sa mga ilang nga mga employees. So depende na yan sa HR kag sa mga management, but it is important that there is a policy on mental health sa mga ulubrahan. It could be nga they are open, they are accepting, they accept people with mental health issues, ang nag-ayo na bala, no, wala na sila judge, they accept no discrimination. They also are open to connect you with a doctor or a psychologist. Amo na siya nga important gid. So again, these are the facts, no? It was mentioned na it was signed in June 21 of 2018, principal authored by Senator Risa Hontiveros with Tito Soto, Lauren Legarda, Antonio Trillanes, si Bam Aquino, si Sani Angara, and Joel Villanueva. So again, the provisions, I already mentioned that. And the state of mental health care in the Philippines, na kin-mention din according to the Department of Health, I already shared it with you, that 1 in 5 Filipinos has some form of mental illness. And the statistics for the National Center for Mental Health projects suicide rates of 2.5% for men and 1.7% for women per 100,000 members of the population. So, ang suicide is very high, and that does not include those unreported. Kaya di ginasekreto ang suicide. Remember? So, ay na siya na report. So, according to a 2014 report of the World Health Organization, there are 2,558 cases of suicide due to mental health problems in the Philippines in 2012. It's 2020. I'm sure it's more. Okay? And also, we are the mental health law is fighting for PhilHealth. No? Ang PhilHealth naton, sang una, ang covered lang na is hospitalization brought about by acute attacks of mental and behavioral disorders. Pero sa mental health law, no, Senator Sani Angara renewed the call for PhilHealth to provide at least free psychiatric consultation and medicines for all Filipinos, and also expand the PhilHealth coverage to outpatient. No, ang ilan sa PhilHealth, ang mga admitted lang. So kung pwede, i-cover man ang outpatient and outpatient checkups and medicines. And also ensure the insurance packages covering physical disorders are also available to patients affected by mental health illness. I'm sorry, why ko ni siya na-follow up kung ano nang natabo sa PhilHealth, but part of the Philippine mental health law, no, na kinanglan ang mental health services is available and feasible, kag affordable. Okay? So that leads me going to it's okay to ask for help. No? Seeking help is, again, okay. Where can you go? So you can go to your doctor, your family physician. You can go to, if you're in school, you can go to your guidance counselors. You can even talk to your teacher. Your teacher will probably listen to you, but there is what we call a referral system. So if they feel that they can't handle you anymore, they can refer you to a guidance counselor. You can also talk to your priest, your chaplain, or your spiritual director. And I know many of our priests also know when to refer. That's why subong nga mga chinpo sa mga seminaries, human formation is important because they know that part of their being a priest or a pastor, ginagatuan mas sa tao kag istoryahon, kag kabalo sa kung diin makadto. No? You can also seek help sa mga trained medical health worker. And I'm happy to share, and maybe a private psychiatrist. We have also government mental institutions, and we also have non-government organizations. Itag isa-isahon kung sila ang mga private psychiatrists down. No? So I am not a registered psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a registered guidance counselor. I am a mental health advocate. No? I cannot pwede ko istorya sa imo, but I am not registered. So what I usually do, I give awareness sessions like this, like webinars, and people tend to come to me to ask where to go. No, kinatipon ko, a friend and I, we made a directory of the mental health services in Negros Occidental, and I can share it with you if you want to have a copy, but I will also share it here. No? So every month, kung may bago, gina-update, gina siya namon. Okay? So in Bacolod, we have about 9, in Negros Occidental, rather, we have about 9 psychiatrists and about 7 are active. Yeah, iniisip ko, no, liwat. No? One of them is already retired, Dr. Servando. She used to be at the Bacolod City Mental Health Care Center. And then we also have one who is the municipal health officer in Hinubaan. Sini sila, no? Dr. Benji Lusuriaga, Dr. Agayares, Dr. Francia, Dr. Escandilor, Dr. Aguirre, Dr. Orcajada, and Dr. Calmirin are still active. But as I've mentioned earlier, kabudlay makuha sang appointment because they are much needed. Dr. May has a clinic in Lady of Mercy. Dr. Gayares is in North Point Building in front of San Agustin. She also has, I think she's also in CLMRH and in BAMC. Dr. Francia is in Medical Plaza. Dr. Escandilor is in Villanueva Lab. Dr. Amador Aguirre is in Doctors Hospital and BAMC, or Adventist Medical Center, Bacolod. Dr. Romeo Orcajada is in the Bacolod City Mental Health Care Center. And Dr. Yuris Calmiren is in the Corazon Locsin, Montelibano Memorial Regional Hospital. So, active na sila nga mga doctors. We have also more than 30 licensed psychologists. No, they are all over Negros, and even some are in Iloilo and in Manila. But subong, pwede na ko online counseling. They do that also. So I can provide a list of psychologists to Miss Red or to Doc Tina, and if you need to ask them in the future, you can also ask it from them, or you can email me at jet.octaviano@gmail.com. Okay, for the list of psychologists and psychiatrists. And there are also numbers to contact kung you need an appointment. Okay. In our government, I already shared it earlier with you, nakita kids ni Gov Bong, no, ang mental health matters. So through their provincial health office, may ara nakita sang helpline. No? There's a smart number and a TM number. So go ahead and copy the numbers. This information is also included in the directory that we prepared. No, it's a PDF file, siguro mga 11 pages, no, and growing. Okay. So the National Center for Mental Health also has a crisis hotline. The number is Globe. So if you are unli, call, pwede ka katawag, and their tagline is talk to someone. Ha? Na siya. DOH also has a regional number. So if you see there's a helpline number for Western Visayas Medical Center, the provincial health office number, that is the one that I shared under under Negros Occidental, and even Capiz, they have also their helpline number. And actually, this is all over the country. I just shared what is in Region 6. No? Also, this is the DOH number in Iloilo. Corazon Locsin Montelibano Memorial Regional Center has a section in psychiatry and behavioral medicine. This is the number to text for an appointment. Just 2 weeks ago, I had a friend. I referred this number to her for she knows somebody, and immediately nag-respond and gave them an appointment. So and then I also contacted one of their psychologists, si Sir Lenny, and he said that yes, they are accepting patients. So that's the number. Aside from, of course, the doctor outpatient consultation, they also have outpatient services. They also have 24-hour referral, interdepartment referral, and they also accept patients. So I think ang ilan ng psych ward, kinanglan may bantay ang pasyente 24/7. Okay. The city of Bacolod, the Bacolod Mental Health Care Center is in Paglaong Village. I don't have a picture of Dr. Ortejada yet. So the picture there is old. When I was still in Philippine Mental Health Association, we closely partnered with Dr. Servando, and amo lang ang picture ko as of the moment. But they have also a number. They have patients there who stay live in, and they have a Dr. Orcajada is now their psychiatrist, and you have to call their number also for an appointment. Okay. We also have people, mga individuals who offer their services, so like care, psychosocial support, and consultancy services. So this is led by Doc Rowena Banyes, Doc Calvin Ganob, and Doc Ana Panginiban. No? So they offer PFA and mental health and psychosocial support. They also offer counseling, training, services and programs, psychological assessment or psychological testing, research, consultancy, coaching, mentoring, and even forensic psych services. So like annulment, for adoption, for expert witnessing. So if you notice, the mental health services is not just about having mental disorders, but it's also related to expert witnessing. No, can if you plan to adopt a baby, kinanglan man na siya sang psychiatrist or psychologist na ma-attest na you don't have a mental disorder. The same with annulment. Okay. There's also Talking Turns Therapy Clinic. They are near PLDT. No? So you can also book counseling. They also have testing, and you can also have online consultation. The numbers are there. And Riverside Medical Center, as I've mentioned earlier, si Miss Becky, who was the speaker yesterday, dili ni siya consultant. No? They also have counseling and psychotherapy services. LCC or La Consolacion College also has a crisis and psychotrauma center. Doc J or Dr. Johnny De Catoria, he founded the trauma clinic in UST in Manila, and he moved here he went back home in Negros, and eventually he was able to put up together with LCC the crisis and psychotrauma center. With Doc J, we were able to be trained sa mga critical incident debriefing, no, mga CISD, as well as mga psychological first aid. Damo man ni akong experience with Doc J in terms of mga trauma information, awareness, and even talking to those people na naka-experience trauma. Okay. We also have others like si Doc Joyce Fernandez. She also has a clinic near CLMMRH. Miyara man dalapit sa Burgos Street, no, ang ExoCare, may white lab, may white laboratory. And if there are facilities na wala ko na mention, please let me know so I can add them sa among directory. Okay. So for non-government organizations, we have one in Victorias, no, the Negros Occidental Drug Rehab in Camp General Anacito Lacson, NORFI or Negros Occidental Rehabilitation Foundation, every month near SSS, every Monday, ara si Dr. Iscandilor, last that I know. We also have two to drug rehabilitations in Bacolod, New Beginnings Foundation, and Better Days Ahead Recovery Center. Okay, sige. Okay, so just a quick sharing of where I work. No, I'm a mental health advocate. This is like my advocacy. This is not my full-time job. My full-time job is in Hope Volunteers Foundation, and we usually partner with Operation Smile Philippines. We usually bring the Operation Smile for children with cleft palate or cleft lip. So base kilala ka mga kinanglan operahan, maybe next year madayon na gid ang Operation Smile. Okay. Also, just a last note to everyone, depression is real. Yes, definitely is real. Anxiety is real. Mental illness is real. But hope, help, and healing is real. So these are my references. So thank you very much.
All right, that was really awesome. Thank you for your informative session. We are really overloaded by a lot of information. Thank you for sharing all this information, Miss Jet. And we have a lot of questions from our participants. So,
Wow.
yes. So let me start with our first question. How do we prevent suicide attempts?
Wait, sorry.
This is a difficult question.
It is actually a difficult question. First of all, we need to know the symptoms or signs na nakita natin sa this person, okay? Sometimes, they really do not tell you that they want to kill themselves. So, how do we prevent them? So, first of all, we need to identify their behaviors. So, kung nakita natin, it seems like sa lista to sa depression, basi gusto yun na mag-suicide. So, istoryahon sa natin. No? First of all, we really need to talk to the person. And, mayo ng kung attempt no kag nabuhi. Okay, for every one person na napatay by suicide, may ara about 25 na ga-attempt. So, paano sa ma-prevent? So, mo lang na, we have also to, when the person is already saying, I want to kill myself, wala naging kuya pulos, no? Ang important part is, remember, keep them safe. Remember,
okay. Miss Jet,
keep them safe.
Sorry to interrupt. Which is worse? The person telling you that I will commit suicide, or the person who's not telling you but there are signs that he or she might commit suicide?
Para sa ako, niya mas nami, gijaya nga maistoryahanay. Nga very blunt and very open to say that I want to kill myself. So, dira mo na mga hambal nga, hindi mo na siya dahil pagsuyaan, amo ginabala ang rason ng iba nga tao, kaya wala man sila kapati sa kung tanawon, tabala. Hindi ma-suicide attempt, no? So, keep them safe. When they say that, I want to kill myself, or nakita, mga duka kulubaan na ni sila, amo pag when you see that they have different symptoms and signs, ask them directly. Do you think gusto mo na magpakamatay? Dugay-dugay hibian niyo na kada, hindi pabantayin lang. That's why ang important, kaya ang parents, no, nga mga tanawon nila ila kabataan, and even the teachers, no, or the teachers are the second parent, no? Kunara sa school sila ang usually gakit-anay. So, muna siya. How to prevent it? Watch them, be with them, talk to them, make them safe. Pangtagua, to tanang ginambal ko to ang mga pusil, ang mga kutsilyo, no? Pangtagua, ang mga ginausar na bala para mga Clorox na kung ano dang pwede mausar, ang mga ang mga bulong, pangtagua, tanan. Talk to them, be there for them, listen, make them know na you are there for this person.
I agree. It's really important that we listen to them and we let them share their experiences, how bad it is. We just have to listen. Okay, so our next question, how long can a person recover from anxiety attack? You were saying that anxiety is normal, right? So everybody experiences anxiety. But when it's a worst case of anxiety, how long would a person normally recover?
So
Or
what if, okay, remember we experienced it. What if once a month ka anxiety ka? That's okay. Let's say once a month, twice a month. But what if every day ka anxiety ka na? Hindi ka naka-function very well. That's a time when you need to go to the doctor. And when you consult with your doctor, siya nang kamo na iya may istoryahanay kung how long will you recover. Maybe she will give you medicines, maybe psychotherapy kamo na iya may istoryahanay. So how long? I guess it also depends on how much you want to be cured. Amo na siya. Amo na siya nga kung may ara ka nagidya nga symptoms ya, kag feel mo ya nga hindi na ya normal sa imo nga wala, hindi ka na ya kagiho mayo kay tungod ka anxiety ka na lang everyday. Get help na dayon. Ang normal part na ya sa anxiety nga ti amo na once a month, once a week kani siguro pwede pa pero kung do halos everyday ka naga-cool down no sa kagan tapos attack ka sa gabi, no need help na ginaya. Ako ya I am a advocate for asking for help, professional help.
yes. Yeah. So yes, so thank you, Miss Jet. So here's another difficult question. We heard news about suicides due to COVID-19 pandemic, not only in the Philippines, but also in other countries. What's your comment on this?
I feel sad about it. No, kay suicide can be prevented. Death by suicide can be prevented if only we can listen to them. Remember, suicide prevention is everyone's responsibility. So mapalapit kita sa ilaya, be there for them. Don't judge them. Be kind. So ang ako nang yan nasubukan ko when I hear about it. No? Even here in Negros, no, country sa Negros, wala lang ginabutang sa news, but I've heard of teens death by suicide. Kalalain hindi ko na iya kay this can be treatable if only we listen to them. Pagaling kay the past is past, but prevention ng gijaya is the best thing to do and be there for them.
Yes, Miss Jet. Looking at this question, this has relation to COVID-19, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think are the trigger factors for this one? Do you think it's the fear of being infected, or the anxiousness of staying at home in a closed environment, or there's a lot of, I don't know what are the reasons behind this?
There could be a lot of factors. Well, maybe they're already experiencing sadness before, no? Tapos doon nagdugang lang nag-trigger. For example, no, ang mga teenagers, you know how important their friends are, being together, and then suddenly you are prisoned, you are trapped in the house, no? Dala ka na lang sa balay mo, hindi ka kagwa. Tapos ang iba, they cannot cope with online classes.
Yeah,
they feel bad na let's say atuto sila sa Escalante or ara sila sa kunti inda nga lugar nga hinay ang signal, they feel nga hindi sila ka-cope with their classes. So kung nalain man sila, they also try to commit suicide. Muna siya ang subo dira kay lain ang personality mo yabi nga you really want to be with other people. You can learn better when you are in front of a teacher and you have classmates beside you. Additional anxiety, no?
Yeah.
Tapos kung kisa hindi mo pa makita yung mga classmates, no, kay even if na klase ka mo da ang video off man, so do feeling mo you are alone, no? Tapos abi for sabi sa balay mo ara mo da hindi ka mayuhay sang imo uton for mi ka mo kaaway, no? Ang tatay mo kung nanay mo for mi kaaway, kita mo man sila. So many factors can cause na ma-depress ka and later you feel like you want to kill yourself.
And also, I think being confined in your room, it also
Do you feel-
affects, right? Yeah, long hours of staying in front of the computer and being confined in your room alone, and you sometimes talk to persons who don't have videos, so it's really difficult, right?
Yes, very. Amo to gali sang beginning, mga April, May, I was able to share with some adolescents about cabin fever. So amo to yung time, bago pa lang to very new. So what did I tell them? It was time to clean their room. It was time to read books na wala mo na basa for a long time. Punta na ako na Netflix, no? Pagkadamo, gilalain gyapon.
So it would really help them if they try to redesign the room, right? redesign the room to make it more conducive, open the windows for air to come in, put some plants, right?
Amo na nga nagpuso man ang plantitas and
Plantitas,
no?
yeah.
Mga habis na to naguluwa. No?
Yes.
Ang kilala ko nga sa Burnley, sagad na siya mag-bake cookies. No? Ang mga nagagawa nga to, yung mga hidden talents. Kumbaga.
Okay, so we have here another question. Why do you think that more women are affected by depression rather than men when women are more vocal?
Well, ang mga girls, mas more kita of feelings. So, depression is a feeling disorder. So, amo na siya nga may higher tendency kita maging depressed, no? And also, there is postpartum depression that can only happen to women. Siyempre, no, mga laki, wala mga bata. So, that's why mas more affected. Mas more affected ng mga women. Kung tanawin natin sa statistics, actually, ang higher rate sa suicide is men than women. Dala naman niya kay tungod nga ang men are, when they decide something, they really do it
right away.
So, unlike girls ng pisa, no, suicide. Kasakit!
Tinabrahan mo na, dali lang git subong na, hindi lang na.
No, so that's what, we don't, kita ka kadlaw, ta subong, no, but once ito bang, so siyempre, serious na for them. But that's mostly the reason sa suicide. Pero for women naman, we are more feelings, so gabatsyag kita dayon, kada ka-sensitive pa sa aton.
Yeah. Women are really emotional.
Yes, that's why sa feeling disorder, kamo na siya.
Okay. How can we get rid of the stigma or labeling of people seeking help of psychiatrists? This is really true. When people hear that you will have to consult a psychiatrist, they will label you, they will tell you, buang na siya. May diferensya na siya. So,
baka negative kita, no?
Yes, negative. Very negative ang labeling.
So that's why I mentioned that yes, we should end the stigma. And how can we do this? Of course, education is part of it, no? Ako magamba nga mental health. Dapat kalit ka mo attended ka mo ng seminar. Kay actually, ang mental health is about yourself, about self, the relationship with other people, and about how we handle stress. So that's why i-educate na yung mga tao to let them know na ang mental health is not bad. It's because it's about ourselves. Also, ang important na nga ipanugdog, it's a choice. Siya na kung mahuyan kada, so what, nga kung maglain na gidang imo nga mental disorder, sino ang malalain? Ikaw man, di ba?
Yes.
So that's why it's a matter of choice. Hindi ka na mag-deny. No? Kay again, isulog na sa ulo mo nga ang mental health is also a disease. Hindi na siya malain, no? Hindi na siya malain. Ang timing ng daya nga sa brain ng imo masakit, hindi sa dughan. So education is really important. We tell people about mental health. And lately, Doc Tina, happy ito kay tungkol sinisang pandemic, doon nakita nila nga important na ang mental health.
Yeah. Because we have trying to advocate for through the years. Remember, we started all our forums in the past years. I think it's been 5 years, right? It's been 5 years that we're campaigning every year. Now we need to focus on mental health. And now, I guess this is a blessing in disguise, right?
Right. That, positive na natabo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that people realize the importance of mental wellness, of our mental health, because in the past we always take it for granted.
Exactly.
Society lang na.
So gina-ignore kaya embarrassing, kahuluya, no? May kilala ko gani nga nagadto sa Lady of Mercy, magadto kay Dr. Soriaga. May nakakita siya, istorya yung manis ako, nagamba siya nga, gaano ka di, wala kami gibisitahan ako sa babaw, kung pati ka naman pa-check up. Be proud of yourself. Magadto ko kay Dr. Soriaga or magadto ko kay Dr. Gayares, no? At least you are taking care of yourself.
Yeah. So, these are misconceptions, I agree, na through the years, we feel na we just have to shrug it off. We just have to take it for granted. But this pandemic opened our eyes that mental health is really important. There's a lot of cases, alarming cases of suicide, alarming cases of kids running in the streets fighting. And, these are scary realities because this results to disorder. So we need to, as parents, we need to guide our children, we need to guide our kids that mental health is important. Just like your grooming, just like your, right?
Exactly. How?
Okay. Yeah. So now we have another question here. How can we avail of psychological help if we don't have money to pay the doctor? So isama ni siya, Miss Jet, sa mga issues naton. Yeah.
Correct yun na siya. Kaya syempre, if you go to a private psychiatrist, you have to pay more. Usually sa regular, sa specialist ng mga doctors, range from mga 500 pesos, sa mga doctors more than, no? That's why may ara kita sang Corazon Vaccine, si LMMRH. We also have ang Bacolod City Mental Health Care Center, kalayo sa iya sa Paglaom, but you pay less, no?
Okay.
Last I know,
So may NGOs man ta.
150.
May NGOs man ta nga like ga-help bidya nga do ka. Hindi siya mahal or sometimes kung wala ka ibayad, can they also help?
Well, sa una, sadly, no, wala na PMHA.
PMHA.
We have those, yara kami sa una sa consultation. Pero may ara, sa Norfi, the one near SSS, ang Rehabilitation Center, Dr. Escandilor is there every Monday. Last I know, nalipat na ko. May lang maguton ko siya later kung ano na schedule niya. They have a psychiatrist once a week. And they cater usually mga indigent patients. Pero if you go to CLMMRH, I think they also charge you less.
Okay.
Corazon
And
Vaccine.
at least with the new law, you can charge it through PhilHealth, right?
Oh, hopefully, amo na kabay pa nga.
Kabay pa.
So, wala ko na check, but I will ask.
Okay, so thank you for that answer. Next, we have here, how can we encourage a friend to seek professional help when she is trying to say she is okay, but most of the time she would call that she dreamt about killing herself?
Amo gini ang sad sa tanan. Sad man ni siya. Usually, if you are having problems with mental disorder or may mga symptoms ka na ang number one, gidya nga denial ka. No? May ara gidya denial. So, kabudlay, dalon ang person na you feel na kinanglan help sa psychiatrist or professional help, na if they don't see themselves na they need it, it's hard to encourage them. No? So, muna. So, maybe, ang usually ginahambal ko sa ila lang, talk to them. Kung hindi para sa imo, para sa akon. Doon mo na vlog na istorya na talk to them, how it affects you also. But most of the time, namudlay, gadya mag-encourage sa ila. Kaya tiyan mo na may stigma because of the stigma. So let them accept that they need help. So yahon din sila kabudlay ba lang. Pero don't give up. Just educate them, tell them about mental health is not bad. It's not being about bobo or it's not being buang. No? Muna.
So the key word here is there is hope.
Yes.
There is hope. It's a disorder, but it can be cured once you seek help. So do not be afraid. Do not be hesitant. If you're watching us right now, if you're listening to us, we shared the hotlines, we shared the names of the doctors. And if you feel that you're still afraid, you can get in touch with us, NOLITC Cares, and also with Miss Jet. We can always help you. We can always listen to you, and we can help in our own little way. So don't lose hope. Okay?
Yes.
So next question, why are some women feel depressed after giving birth to a child? So this has something to do with, I think, postpartum.
Yes, postpartum. Usually I'm not a mother. I am a stage people. No, I have a lot of nephews and nieces, no, pati mga seminarians, I call them nephews. But usually, hindi ba lang magbata, kita ng mga hormones na kung change.
Yeah.
So I think it would be related to why some women, they get postpartum blues after giving birth. Sometimes, mayroon siya feelings of, usually, let's say, ang mother go umbra, and then, when you give birth, di ba, you have maternity leave. So, and then, pag you are left at home with your baby while your husband works. So, don't may feelings. Sometimes they have feelings of being abandoned, of being alone. So, ang isa ang mga feelings na duga emotional kay tungod man na sa hormones. Amo na siya.
Yes, I agree with that one.
You are a
It's
mother,
really,
Dr.
yeah, I am a mom of 3, so I agree with that one. So, in my experience, there will occur after giving birth, there will occur some time that you feel lonely. But the thing is, it's always you that matters. You have to decide whether you will stay lonely or you have to cope, and then look at your baby. It's a blessing, so it's a way of trying to cope. There's a lot of factors contributing to postpartum. Sometimes it's lack of support, right? So, like, sometimes husbands would not support their wives, so you feel that you're all alone in this journey. And other factors would also, it's like the physical factor. Sometimes you feel ugly, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so that's very true. Some
You're also
women
tired.
would feel ugly, that the physical appearance has already changed. I'm not as beautiful as before.
Hindi ka na
So
sexy.
again, yes, hindi na siya sexy. So, and then the difficulty, like for example in breastfeeding, the difficulty in trying to adjust in your sleeping hours. So these are the things that will always cause stress to new mothers. So
Yeah, and
there's
also
hope.
Yeah, and I think also, Doc Nina, is something to do with your lack of sleep. No, kasi syempre
Yes.
your babies they wake up every 2 hours, you have to feed them. Tapos you mentioned about stress na kisa wala kagatas, or
Yes.
no, kagatas. Tapos kadugay, isang bana mo magpuli. mga amo na
Wala
mga
ka yaya, wala ka sa
Na,
help, wala sa mega
kaya,
support sa imo. So these
or
are the things na naga-trigger gid.
or ang mother mo ara tapos kang banga ko na hindi ka kabalo no na pala ka hindi ka kabalo na. But I think it's also related to hormones na bago kakabata.
Yes.
Tapos nag-separate ka mo sa baby mo after 9 months, so siguro may amo man ang feeling.
It's really hormonal imbalance sometimes. So we just have to adjust. Eat the right amount of food.
Sleep.
And try to sleep while your baby is sleeping. So that's my technique before. So kung ang baby mo naga-sleep, sleep with your baby. Hindi ka na mag-ubra sang lain man. Kaya when you overwork and you try to do a lot of household chores, wala ka na time para sa self mo. So when your baby is sleeping, sleep with your baby, and then parang ma-rested gid ka. Kag of course maka-recover ka. You can avoid postpartum. It's just a decision, and it's always you that matters, right?
Correct. Okay. Amo na atong tagline subong you matter.
Yeah, you matters. I love that tagline. So next question, so we've discussed about the the mental health law. So this is a follow-up question. What are the benefits of the Philippine mental health law?
Well, supposed to be, if you heard earlier, no, the mental health law is going to protect the mental health professionals as well as those people having mental health needs. Also, it is mentioned that dapat available and affordable ang mental health services. That's why it should be all ang mga barangay level dapat kalabot na sa ila as well as sa mga hospitals. It is also mentioned nga kinanglan ang mental health facilities i-improve at the same time gidya nga i-integrate ang mental health sa eskwelahan kag sa workplace. So that's mental health law for you.
And aside, of course, gina-mention natin kagina na sa PhilHealth, na hope it will be included in the PhilHealth benefits, right?
Idugang. Kaya ang PhilHealth subong, kung admitted ka, kag amo nang related sa anxiety, actually related, but may ara. So gusto ni si Senator Angara ang gahambal nga para pag sa outpatient nga magbayad kasi doktor pwede nga PhilHealth.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's another question. Since we don't have a mental facility in Bacolod, what happens to persons with mental illness roaming around in the city? This is a sad reality.
Yes. We actually have a mental health facility in Bacolod, and that's the one in Paglaom village. Remember I mentioned about Bacolod City Mental Health Care Center in Paglaong Village, where Dr. Orcahana is. So it's actually under the Bacolod City Health Office, no? Yan
Okay.
siya sa Bacolod. Under na siya sa health office na to sa Negros. Sa Bacolod, sa Bacolod GAD. And right now, ano man sila, puno man, last I know, puno man sila, but they're always open for new ones. So what happens to these people? Ang sad na dapat when you put a person with mental illness in a facility, dapat may family support. Siyempre, the government, the city of Bacolod cannot provide everything. So you pay for their board and lodging, but you also have to pay for their medicines. No, may mga bulong ka
Okay.
pa.
So the family should pay for that, all the costs.
Yes, no. Amo na siya ganing subo kay again no kun wala kay usually ang mga tao wander around. They have, some of them have homes but they don't go home anymore. Kaya they feel more secure in the dalan.
Streets. Okay.
Sa streets, no? Kagti ang iba na wala na sila wala may support sila in terms of kinanglan dalog gituya sa facility, taga ang bulong, baklon, mga so kamudlay gid unless later on kay actually ang Bacolod City subong gina-form na third reading na ang ma-organize ng council, sa mental health council. So subong hasta pa lang kita dira sa mental health council, and eventually once ma-form ng group, siguro ma-improve na, we want to improve the mental health services in Bacolod. No, kay muna i-improve gidya ang facility dito sa Paglaom. Sa sa Negros wala kita sang
facility.
Pero amo na, we have the mental health matters nga helpline, no, kay referral system amo na siya,
Actually, there's a follow-up question to that one. This is from our Facebook follower. What can we do to our mentally ill brothers? I think the same question. And sisters in the streets. Ano ang programa sa government for them?
Yeah, I mean, well, what can we do with them? Kita ang madala sa ila sa doktor. Kay sila na ang mga tao, ang mga usually ang ngala sa dalan, do medyo kung sa cancer, medyo stage 4, do medyo worse na lang ilang situation. So kinanglan na sila basi maintenance na nga bulong. No?
So na Miss Jet ang madala sa ila sa facility. Kaya I've observed there's a lot of mentally ill persons. Ara lang din sa mga sidewalk naton. And then it should be the family. What if kung wala sila family?
Social work.
Can a social worker from Bacolod City take charge of that one? Then dalon sila to sa Paglaom?
Oo, pero ang mga social workers naton, they also need to contact with the family. Kay kung a little bit older na sila, kung adults na sila, hindi kaya sa children kung kwaon sa dalan, that's kidnapping. That's why they have to they really partner with the parents. Pero kung mga adults na, kinanglan mangyapon muli sa family, kaya mo na bala kinanglan gid sila ya buligan, not just sa pagdala dito, but pati ang mga needs nila So I don't know kung may
kung wala sila family. Wala sila family, and of course they are mentally ill, so though kabudlay na sila gustoryahon kung ano, kung diin sila halin or sino ila family. So ang iya question is, ano ang programa sa government for them?
As of now that I know of, wala pa. I'm very positive thinking, wala pa. In Bacolod City, amo lang na they have a facility na pwede dito madala ang pasyente. Kung galing kay kinanglan gid may upod ang pasyente na family member, or let's say a friend can bring him there. Tapos the city is already organizing a mental health council para mahimo sang ina nga mga programa. Ang Negros Occidental supposed to be ang mga different sa una nagka-partner kami sa PHO mo, ang may mental health unit actually ang province, no, under sa PHO. So na-partner kami nga kada district hospital, nagato kami for nyara kami sa tawag na psych mission. So kung may medical mission, kami may psych mission. Ang mga barangay workers they know kung sinong dalon ko, kag may mga programa mo dito. Kag isa pa, ang DOH may program na biskal hindi ka psychiatrist, may gina-train sila ng mga medical doctors. Ang MH gap na bala, kay kundi sa totoo lang, kajutay-jutay sa psychiatrists all over the country. So may mga doctors na nag-train ng MH gap. So sila na, so each, sa Negros, as each district hospital should know how to handle these cases. So kung may ara ka mo kilala nga sa mga, di ba may Cadiz district, may ara man sa Kabangkalan, may ara man
Yes,
sa...
we have 12 district hospitals.
Yeah, so sila na, they should know what ito na lang dalon, they have programs. And ang last that I know, ang mental health unit, may mga bulong na sila nga pwede manghatag. Kapag hatag sila free medicines. Pero hindi man tanan nga let's say ang medicines be good for 5 months, siguro mahatag nila 1 month. Unless na makapangayo naman to sila liwat na mahatag. So amo na siya ang mental health unit. So may programa man kung hindi pagid tamaan gid ka dako nga do
Full blown.
May ara ito facility not yet, but hopefully may ara to really. That's why doktina nga to medyo nga ubraya is prevention.
Yeah.
Prevention gid is early detection means mabulong man dayon.
Okay, so we have another question here from April Angeli Tabifranca. Do we have mental health and wellness program and activities here in Negros?
What do you mean? We have programs. See, October is usually the mental health month, no? Isang una, it was PMHA who led the activities for the month. So usually laga to gagwa ang mga seminars, may mga walk for a cause pa kami to sa una. Pusubong sadly kuni wala ng PMHA. But usually mga schools ang may ara sila initiative to have activities and programs. But if you need like a support group, may ara di support group sa Negros. May ara sila Facebook page, ang You Matter group, no? May time to sang before the pandemic na we meet once a month, no? Okay, so we just gather and share how we feel, kung ano ang mga experience having this mental disorder, no? Pagtiyan mo to siya may support group. Wala pa kami ka-expand gid kung anong pwede naman mo obra as a big group. Kaya mo na, sadly nag-pandemic. But there is a group na pwede kita ka-tipon dito. May isa kami ka-lugar, kinagatuan, nga-meeting. Tapos mo naga-sharing, pagkapakilalahay. They don't know it well. A few of them know each other. Pero may kaabot nito yung somebody new. So, amo na siya.
Okay, so maybe April can check out that page.
You Matter.
Yeah, You Matter, and also be part of that group. Yeah.
Maybe she can recommend kung anong pwede maubra na mga activities pag yun.
Yes. So, do you think it is important that psychosocial interventions are done with people who are subjected to home quarantine and isolation? Should be part of the recovery program? That question is from Susana Machan Casa.
Yes, I believe it's important. So right now, like sa Bacolod City, I know, ang care psycho group to bala, si Doc Weng and group, gasugod sila anay sa mga head of the departments ng city. I'm sure eventually, mapasa na siya sa mga small groups. No? That group, care psychosocial support group, if you kita nyo man sa news, no, they have been giving psychological first aid and other mental health services to the department heads of the city. And then from there, they will know if you need help, pwede ka kapangayong bulig sa CHO. And even, I'm sure, sa PHO. And that's why, hindi man nila kaya tanan, that's why we have NOLITC to give this kind of seminars. No, kasi gina-delegate man mo kung sino ang mahatag sa mga seminars. And
yeah,
actually,
I agree that this is important. Because those who are, being home quarantined and in isolation, they suffer a lot of stigma.
Yes, depression also, I'm sure.
Yeah, and depression. And it's like your home is being labeled and tagged.
With a yellow thing?
With a yellow thing. And people will be scared to go in your home. So, parang, you yourself, am I still accepted in this community. Parang even if na well ka na, still people will judge you, COVID na siya, may COVID na siya. Family nila may COVID na. So these are important things na nag-trigger siya, 'di ba Miss Jet? Trigger man siya sang depression. And not only depression sa bilog na family, na chaos man ang bilog ng family, but let's remember, instead of trying to add to the problem, let's be of help. Let's not worsen the scenario and trying to label our neighbors na may yellow thing sila sa ila balay or naka-label ang balay nila na under quarantine, and hindi na magpalapit, and then it will not help.
But I will also say, may anxiety man mula when you are being swabbed. Di ba, some people are exposed to, grabe. I tell you, I experienced the swab test and the waiting game sang results So, mental health advocate nakuha, and yet, grabe, anxiety ko po. Siyempre, I prayed, and then I talked to people. Didn't help man. So, pero ang namin, nga part of the program, ginapangayo nila, guro, nga may ara sa mga psychosocial. Pero aside from NOLITC, damo, bala sa mga seminars na nagagwa, na available for free.
Yeah. Yes, and this is really the reason why we're doing these free webinars, to really help, because we know that all of us are stressed out. All of us are suffering from anxiety every day when we go out of our homes. We always pray that, Lord, please, spare me from COVID-19, because we don't know. We don't know if our colleagues are contaminated, if our environment is contaminated. So all of us are anxious, but these are the things that we need to also reflect on. We need to be brave. We need to really go and move forward, because if we don't, we just stay behind and lock up ourselves, then that will worsen our problems, right?
Exactly.
So
Acceptance, acceptance is also the key to another, aside from prevention. Acceptance is the key. But we have to accept that COVID is here. We need to do our normal routines. We just have to do the health protocols, no? Na pati ang mask, I know that wearing mask is uncomfortable, but it will protect you and other people. Kasi madula ang praning, no, makita ko talang tao nga wala kang mask ka praning man ta, di ba? So let's follow these health protocols. No?
Yes, so let's always remember, prevention is better than cure. So we prevent COVID by doing all the health protocol, wear a mask, wear your face shield, social distancing. So right now we're not wearing masks because we are very distant from each other.
Right? My room.
Yeah. So when you go out, you have to really wear your mask and your face shield. So that's really important.
And
so
maybe you're asking, hindi mo na related sa mental health. It is related to mental health because it's also health. No, once ang mga functions, no, health protocols man ang yapon na related nga daan ng physical and mental health. Okay, once may ara kas ng COVID, sabi no na wala na prevent wala ka nag-usar sa mga mask and everything, kag nalatnan ka, ano mga tabo sa imo, ma-depress ka, ma-anxiety ka, may stigma. No? So all is related. So mental health is related to everything.
And there are also those cases, Miss Jet, nga they were infected with COVID and nagka-develop sila sang depression, right? So it's always related. It's always related.
Oh, yes, it is. Kasi syempre, ang anxiety, ito lang ang example, kung even just waiting for your result, no?
Yeah.
It's normal na yung anxiety. Mo na siya. So it's really important. Mental health matters. You matter.
You matter. So that's really important. So lastly, your parting words to our audience.
Well, I guess I would like to thank everybody for attending this webinar, and I hope that you will also become a mental health advocate. Remember, health is important, healing is important, and there's always hope.
Thank you so much, Miss Jet and Dr. Arbicido, for that another very timely and very relevant talk that we can really use and take away during this time of pandemic. We would like to express our most profound appreciation to our expert speaker, Ma'am Octaviano, and to our moderator, Dr. Arbicido, for facilitating this webinar. Shall we give them a virtual round of applause? Right, thank you so much. Now we move on to the awarding of our certificate to our resource speaker. The certificate reads na Provincial Government of Negros Occidental, Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center or NOLITC present this certificate of appreciation to Ma'am Rose Jessica Octaviano as our gesture of gratitude for her commendable service and for the valuable expertise she shared to us this afternoon as our resource speaker about mental health and wellness webinar given this third day of December 2020 via YouTube and Facebook live stream, signed by NOLIC's Vocational School Administrator Dr. Maria Cristina B. Arbicido. Miss Jet, thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. Yes, thank you
Salamat.
so Thank you so much, Miss Jed. And moreover, we would like to thank our very active participants for your comments and questions that you shared via comment, the chat box, and also via the open forum link, and for staying with us up to the end of this session. I also would like to emphasize how you can get a certificate for this webinar. Please provide us your evaluation through the link provided in the description box below. Do not forget the evaluation, okay? So please do this right after this webinar so you won't forget. Your email addresses should be typed in correctly so that the certificate won't bounce back. Be careful with the spelling. The evaluation site will be open up to 12 midnight of today. I hope that is clear and I hope that you can really get the free digital certificate from this webinar. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes GAD Webinar 7 about mental health and wellness. Tomorrow, we will have another exciting webinar about VAWC and sexual harassment. So catch up our resource speaker, Attorney Andrea C., and our moderator, Ma'am Marijan Castro, for another exciting topic. See you using the same platform that we are using. You should be able to receive a link through your email. So please do not forget that. That's it. Everyone, please stay safe and take care. Remember, you matter. NOLITC inspire, NOLITC cares, and avance negrense. See you.